Hi, it's Edward, back with another video. Please take a moment to click the thumbs up button below and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your support. There is a war going on in the car market, and if you are not careful, you could become a casualty. As many of you know, I have a 2004 Toyota Camry with 435,000 miles on the odometer. At some point, I'm going to replace this vehicle. I've been looking at vehicles online and I noticed a disturbing trend, and I want to tell you all about it today. When you see a vehicle advertised online, the price that is advertised is unlikely to be the price that you will actually pay. If you call about one of these vehicles, you will likely find out there are a lot of additional fees. A lot of car dealers are trying to get the most attention for their vehicles online. And one way to do that is to have their price advertised as low as possible compared to their competitors. So they advertise a very low price, and what they do is make it back with a lot of extra fees. I inquired about a vehicle online. I confirmed it was still available. I traveled to the car dealership. I test drove the car. I crawled under it, looked at it, looked in the engine compartment. I decided to sit down with the car salesman and put together an offer. Well, I was disturbed because I found out that the price advertised online included $2,000 for your trade, but they would not give me $2,000 for my trade because it was too old. So that meant the price was actually $2,000 more than what was advertised online, and this was not disclosed on their site. In addition to that, they were charging a very high fee for paint protection. Whatever their cost was, I am sure they were marking it up quite a bit. In addition to that, they also had an expensive dock fee. I did not purchase this car, and I also did not appreciate the fact that they were not transparent about all of this on their website. I wrote the manager a letter and told them that they were not being ethical and they were not transparent about all of their pricing. I also filed a complaint with the FTC and the Secretary of State. I told the manager that I wanted to be compensated for my mileage at the federal mileage rate, or I would take them to small claims court. And the manager mailed me a check to compensate me for my mileage. So at least I got my money back. I did not get my time back, but I feel as though I had a little win there because the manager knew that what they were doing was wrong. And this was a new car franchise dealership. It was not some hole-in-the-wall car lot. I called about another vehicle recently, and the price was competitive. I asked what their fees were, and they gave me a breakdown of their fees. One of those was a very large dock fee, which was close to $1,000. And now I thought maybe that's all they charge. But because of my prior experience with the other dealership, I asked, are there any other costs other than these fees that you are telling me about? And they said, yes, we have a device that we put on every one of our vehicles. It's not an option, you have to take it. And this piece of technology interfaces with the computer on your car, and it tells you when your car needs an oil change. And they charged $995 for this device. I told them, I have no interest in that. I know when my vehicle needs an oil change. That's just a junk fee. It's $995. I can't imagine they're paying a lot of money for that little device. Maybe they pay $50 or $100 in bulk for these devices, and they are able to generate profit from this. Another dealership that I called recently told me that every one of their vehicles has paint protection and they can't take it off because they've already put it on. So if you want to buy one of their cars, you're just going to have to pay for that fee. Well, I had no interest in that either. Then I went to another new car franchise dealership that had a vehicle I was interested in, and I found out they install an additional flashing brake light on the rear of the vehicle, and they charge for this. And this is a safety feature that you want to have. And so we put it on every one of our vehicles. It's not optional. Well, I have no interest in that. Vehicles typically have brake lights built into the tail lights, and they also have a center brake light. Why do I need an additional brake light that flashes? It's not something that would interest me, but again, they're making a lot of profit from this. So if you are in the market for a vehicle, you need to ask these dealerships, what are all of their fees? And some play dumb. They might say, well, what do you mean? Well, we charge tax and title and tag, and we have a dock fee. Well, what else do you charge? You really need to have a deal sheet from the dealership that is sent to you via email or text message so you can see your out the door price with an itemized list of all of their fees. Never waste your time driving to a car dealership unless you can get a deal sheet that itemizes all of the dealership's fees. I'm afraid a lot of car dealerships want people to come in, fall in love with the car, go on a test drive, sit down, talk to the salesperson, get a bottle of water, get some snacks from the lounge area, play the game where you go back and forth between the salesperson and the manager in order to work up a deal, and then they spring on you some of these junk fees. By that time, you've invested hours, and some simply throw in the towel and say, well, we may not get a better deal somewhere else. We really don't want to go through this agony somewhere else, so let's just do the deal. We like the car, it's only a little bit more, the payment is within our budget, so let's just get this done and hope we don't have to do this again for a long time, because this was not a pleasant experience. And some car dealers will wear people down like that. I think you need to be a savvy shopper and ask these car dealerships to send you a deal sheet with your out the door price and a breakdown that lists itemized prices for everything that they're going to charge you, so you know whether or not you want to do business with that car dealership. The market is getting really competitive right now, and there is a race between all these car dealerships to get their inventory online at the cheapest prices possible. And one way they can do that is with all these additional fees. So if they've got a car that they really want to sell for $15,000, but there are other dealers that are advertising it for $13,000, well, they need to be beneath that $13,000 price range so they get more calls. So what can they do? Well, they could do this trick where they put somewhere in the fine print that they're going to give you a minimum of $2,000 for your trade. They could also put somewhere in the fine print that they have a $1,000 dock fee. They charge $1,000 for some type of technology that they install in the car, whether that be a monitor for oil changes or an additional brake light system. Perhaps they are going to charge you a lot of money for some type of wheel protection, or perhaps some type of undercoating. The list goes on and on. Some of these dealers are getting very creative, but they will find a way to bring the price down online beneath their competitors. And you think that's what you're going to pay. Well, surprise, you're not. You actually could be paying a lot more because of all these fees. So it's too bad they don't teach this type of thing in school. I mean, I think that young folks who are graduating from high school and going out there into society, getting their first jobs, or people who might be graduating from trade school or college and going out and getting their first jobs, they may need to buy a car at some point, and their parents probably haven't taught them about this. School didn't teach them about this, and I think these car dealerships know this. And so some are preying on people who are naive about the car buying process. They do not know the questions to ask before they waste their time traveling to a dealership just to find out this car is going to cost a lot more than they thought. So what do you think about all this? Have you ever fell victim to what I'm talking about today? If you have, tell me about it in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to extend a special thanks to everyone who has subscribed to this channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.